In today's class, we'll discuss about the classification of computers. Based on the working principles or based on the principles of data operations and the data handling, we broadly classify the computers into constructions and working, usage, number of microprocessor used, number of users, area of application, word length, as well as size and capability. So based on the constructions and working, we broadly classify the computer into three types, that is known as analog computer, digital computer and hybrid computer. So in case of analog computer, the analog computers has continuous values which has minimum value and the maximum value. So at any given point of time, the minimum value and the maximum value can be reached. So we'll get the result, but the values will not be accurate. In case of analog computers, always the values will be approximate. We'll take the approximate values in case of analog computer. So I told in case of analog values, analog computers, the values are continuous. We take the approximate value. I'll show you the graph, how we'll plot the, in analog computer, how we'll plot the graph. In analog computer, when we take the values, when we plot a graph in x-axis and y-axis, when we plot a graph, see when we plot a graph by taking the values, we may get the approximate values in case of analog computers. We will not get the accurate value in case of analog computer. But in case of digital computers are the computers which are having counting numbers. Okay, we have zeros and ones. So in case of digital computers, we have the measuring values of counting numbers, we have zeros and ones. So always the values in the digital computer will be accurate. It's not approximate, it is always accurate. So the example I can give for analog and digital computer, when we consider our BP machine, we call it as pygomanometer. So the analog values, we need to check the pulse as well as the impulse will check the pulse rate. We take the analog values in case of analog computer. We see the pulse values as well as the pulse values in case of analog computer. We get the values approximately in the BP machines. When we consider the BP machine, when we take a digital BP machine, it shows the values accurately. Okay. Then we will talk about hybrid computers. Hybrid computers are the combination of both analog and the digital. What we are combining, what features we are taking from the analog, what features we are taking from the digital. We take the measuring values. We take the measuring values from the analog computer, and we take the counting values from the digital computer. The combination of these two, we call it as hybrid computer. So hybrid computer, the best example is our ECG, electrocardiograph. Okay, your ECG machine is the best example for the hybrid computer. Next, we have, based on the usage, we have special purpose and the we have special purpose computer and multi-purpose computer. And the number of microprocessor used, it may process the instructions sequentially or parallelly. Next, we have number of users. The users who use the system can be a single user or it can be multiple user, or we call it as multi-user. We have area of applications, whether it is used in the business or is applied in the scientific field. Okay, then we have word length. Word length could be 8-bit processing or it can be a 16-bit word length computer. Next, when I talk about the size and capability, again we broadly classify the systems into the computers into 4 main computers. The first one is microcomputer. Next, we have mini computer. We have mainframe computer. Then we have supercomputer. So we discussed about based on the size and capability, we broadly classify the computers into 4 types I told you. One is microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe computer and supercomputers. We will do, first we'll see these two. One is microcomputer and the mini computer. When I talk about microcomputer is also called as personal computer. So microcomputer was invented in the year 1970s. So we have single processor or it has dual processor. In case of microcomputer, it has input devices, output devices, memory as well as processor. Example for a microcomputer is PC and the Apple's Macintosh. Okay. Then in case of microcomputers, again we classify into the types of microcomputers. We classify into desktop computer and the portable computers. So why the name desktop? The system unit as well as the monitor both are placed on the table on the desk, so it is called as the desktop. In the desktop, we have two types of model. One is desktop model as well as the tower model. So in desktop model, the monitor is placed on the system unit. We call it as a desktop model. In case of tower model, both the system unit and the monitor is placed on the table. We call it as the tower model. Okay. When I talk about the user, we have single user. Microcomputer is a single user PC, so only we call it as a personal computer. Then, where all microcomputer is used? Microcomputers are used in the office, it is used in the homes, it is used in the business field as well as in the engineering field. Okay, then we have mini computer. Mini computer is invented in the year 1960. It can process nearly 5 million instructions per second. Okay, when I compare with the microcomputer, the mini computer are a little bit advanced. It works faster than the microcomputer. The memory capacity is also more. Same, it has the input-output memory processor. Even it can be single processor. It also has a dual processor. But it is also called as the other name for, like how we have the other name for micro as personal computer, we do call mini computer as dumb terminal. Okay. Then the disadvantage, and then one disadvantage of mini computer is that such that it cannot work as a standalone computer. That means it cannot process the large amount of data. It cannot process and store the huge amount of the data. It cannot process and stand alone. So we call it as a standalone computer. It cannot process itself. It cannot stand by itself. We call it as a standalone computer. The example for mini computer, the models are VAX 8800, AS400 are the models of mini computer. Okay. So we have discussed actually 4 types of computers which has been broadly classified based on the size and capability. We discussed about the microcomputer as well as mini computer. Now next we see mainframe computer as well as supercomputer. When we talk about mainframe computer was invented in the year 1975. It is very large in size. It works faster when compared to a previous micro and mini computer. It is having multiple processor, but whereas in the micro and mini you see single or dual processor. Here in case of mainframe computers we have multiple processor, and one more new feature added into the mainframe, it is multitasking. Okay, it can perform multitasking. More than one task can be performed at a time, as well as it is the multi-user. Okay, it is not a single user. When I talk about the users, I spoke about single user in case of microcomputer. You see in the mainframe computer, it is the multi-user at the same time. Okay. Next, I told how many users it can serve. Okay, more than 50,000 users simultaneously. It can serve more than 50,000 users simultaneously. Okay, the models are NEC 610 and NEC 10. And who are the users? Who are mainly using the mainframes are the IBM people, are TCS, Wipro and NSDL. The all more important advantage of mainframe computer is like in Aadhaar card, in India we have Aadhaar card, isn't it? The identity for Indians, for Indian citizenship. In case of in Pakistan, okay, the national identity card for the Pakistan citizenship, they use the mainframe computers. Okay, those are the uses. Next, we see about supercomputer. Supercomputer was invented in the year 1980s. Okay, it is the fastest. Okay, it is the fastest computer. It is big in size and it is more expensive. Usually, we know that we use it for the scientific purpose. Only scientists using supercomputers. So, India's Tata ACOS. The supercomputer name is ECA. It is from the Tata company. Tata ACOS is a supercomputer. They worked on this supercomputer in Pune. In which laboratory? The CRL laboratory. Okay, we call it as Computational Research Laboratory in Pune. So those people were working under this ECA. Okay, ECA supercomputer. So I can call for what type of computation we use the supercomputer. For more complex and the advanced calculation and the complex computations we use the supercomputer. As we know, it is very sophisticated too. Okay, and we use for advanced computation, complex computation, and it is a sophisticated computer. Next, the scientist who just invented the supercomputer in the control data corporation. He worked on the control data computation. The scientist's name is Simon Carey. Simon Carey is a scientist who worked for the supercomputer at Control Data Corporation. So we are seeing about the supercomputers, and then in the supercomputer we discussed how fast and how expensive and why we use, where we use it all. Okay. Now we'll see about the uses of supercomputer. So the uses of supercomputer we used in the weather forecasting, to check the weather, to predict the weather. Even in your mobiles, in your Android mobiles, you used to every now and then you used to get update, isn't it? You get the weather details and all. So weather forecasting, to check the weather for today is cloudy or cloudy, it is going to rain today or tomorrow. All your weather forecasting detail, how they predict, how they get the base stations. So from the satellite, if they predict the thing also to the base station, the satellite sends the information to the base stations. Where in the base stations, which computer they use? They use supercomputers. Okay. So for the weather forecasting, we use supercomputer. Next, animated graphics. Okay, especially where we see animated graphics, most of the Indian movies will not use much, isn't it? In Bollywoods and Hollywood movies, especially we see this animated graphics, especially in the Bollywood movies and Hollywood movies, we see the animated graphics. So there they use the supercomputers and not go for the normal one. Next, we have fluid dynamic calculations. So those are doing PCME, like you might be doing fluid mechanics calculations and all in physics. So those calculations will be a little bit complex and tedious. In such cases, they use supercomputers for the fluid dynamic calculations to get the calculations accurately. Okay, next we have nuclear energy research. We have nuclear energy research centers. So there they use the supercomputers. Okay, because in all these cases we need accurate value. Okay. Next we have space science. In the space science also we use supercomputers. We have weapon and missile design. In case of army or navy, army and all, they go for weapon and missile designs. They use the supercomputers. Last but not least, we have petroleum exploration where we use supercomputer. Okay. Next, we will see about the applications of computers. So far we discussed about the classifications of computers, how it is being broadly classified. Next we see the applications of computer. In applications of computer, mainly we have a number of applications. So first we use in schools and colleges. The primary use of computer in the schools and colleges. Nowadays, even in Bangalore, I have seen in most of these schools and most of the international schools and colleges, they use the online attendance system, isn't it? As soon as the kid or the student who enters the campus, they just the system will recognize the face of the student, isn't it? So automatically, just they either keep their palm or either they show their face. You can take the palm as your personal identification or the face recognition. If they show their face, their attendance is automatically marked. Okay. That system they use in these, for that purpose we use computers in these schools and colleges, as well as for the fees details, the detail about the student, the marks for the marks card generation, to collect the fees details, the account details of the fees details, the account details, everything they use in the schools and colleges. They use the computers for accounts, they use for fees collections, and even in the audio video. Okay, for the audios and videos they use, if at all they want to use the smart classes also, they use computers. Okay, so to store those audios and videos, they use computers. Next we have in the banks, we use computers in the banks. So why they use computers in the banks? To create the account for the customer, to maintain the customer details, they use computers, isn't it? So they either they issue the ATM, whether they issue the ATM card, whether they issue the PIN number to the customer, all the details will be tracked in the systems used in the banks, as well as they have the transaction details, what they have withdrawn, what they have deposited, what they have withdrawn, all their transaction details will be stored in the computer. For that purpose, the bank people use the computers. Okay. Next, in case of office, all the documentation work in the office, all the documentation work. Previously, they used to maintain ledgers and all. Nowadays, they are not maintaining. Bookkeeping is not maintained nowadays. Mostly, they use systems only to maintain the office details. Okay. Next, we have stock control in business firms. So, when you go for any of the shops, you take how they maintain these stocks. All the stock details to the barcode reader, they use, they scan and they store all the stock details in these shops, okay, in these stores. So they get to know what are the stocks which is coming into the stock, what are the stocks which is going on, and what is there on the bench, okay. All the stock details are being stored in the computer. For that, the stock people, I mean the business people, they use the computers. Next, we have stock exchange. What is the stock exchange? Buying and selling of goods through computers. Okay, everything is done through the computer. The stocks, the goods are exchanged with the help of computer. Either the customer can buy or the customer can sell. That type of transactions, for that type of transactions, they use the stock exchange. These people use the computers. Next, for research and developments, to do their their PhDs, for research and developments, they use computers. Next, this is the main where they use in the entertainment as well as in the news media, they use computers. Before we get the news, we have live news 24/7, we get the live news. In such cases, they use computers. Even the editors, the news editors, they use computers to edit the news as well. Okay, even in the newspaper, they will not get the random news. There will be editor who sits and edits the news. For that also, he needs a computer. Then the entertainment media, those people obviously without system they can't do anything, they have to use the computer. And even the government office, all the staff details and all the details in the government office, they maintain in the system. Here also they are not maintaining bookkeeping, they are using system. Next, mainly the next very important application where they use the system is satellite communication. So this is what without phone or without system we can't survive, because browsing, internet chatting, email, online gaming. So all your PUBG, whatever you play online gaming, without system it is not possible. So you are going to, for satellite communication, browsing, surfing, chatting, email, online gaming, we use computers. Okay. Next, publishing. Previously, it was like there were no e-publications. Only they used to publish it in a book, okay, in a volumes. They used to publish in volumes in kind of hard copies. Nowadays, all your magazines, your books, your paper presentations, everything they do e-publishing. Okay, they use system for publishing the magazine, or it can be news, it can be a book, it can be a research papers, or it can be a thesis, whatever it is. It is now e-publishing. Okay, so everything is available online. Next, for travel. For traveling also we use computers. We book it by using net, we book it online, the tickets we book online. Even in the flight system, in the aeroplanes when they fly, there they have computer to monitor, okay. All those sophisticated things are being provided for them. Next, in the engineering field, especially in the mechanical engineering, the design of the machines, those I mean, if I take a car, the engine of the car, how they design it, they are not directly go and invest money in the hardware. Okay, first they used to design it in the system, like in a simulation method. They used to design it by using the software, and they'll show to their higher official. Once it gets approved, then only they go for the implementation. So they use a software called this CAM software. For this mainly they use computer. It is called as computer aided manufacturing. Okay, CAM and CAD course is also available. This CAM stands for computer aided manufacturing, where the mechanical engineering field they use this CAM. And then in hospitals, okay. So now hospitals, they used to store the patient details, okay. When the patient is in and how many patients are in, how many patients are out, what is the previous history, the medical history background of the patient, everything. All those informations once they store in the hospital database, they did not do. Again, suppose nowadays all the hospitals have been interconnected, isn't it? So once, suppose if I go and admitted in one hospital, if I given all my details, so previously suppose I'm traveling somewhere, I have some medical health issues, I go admitted in that hospital, so they can get all my previous medical details from the database of the hospital where I've been previously admitted. To get the patient's details, their details are stored in the database in the hospitals, and even their bills, okay, patients' bills, everything they maintain into the system. Okay. So that's all about the application of computer, students. So today's class, what we have seen in the beginning, we have seen about the classification of computer, isn't it? So there we have seen about the analog, digital, how the computers have been classified based on the principles of operations and the principles of data handling. The computers are broadly classified, I said. There specifically we have seen about the three types of computer which has been classified based on the constructions and working. They are analog, digital and the hybrid. Next we have seen about these based on the size and capability. We have seen four main types of computer. One is microcomputer, mini computer, mainframe computer and the supercomputer. Next, we have seen even the applications and uses of, the uses of all those four computers we have seen. Next, we have seen about the applications of computers. So, where the computers being used, we have seen a number of applications. It is being used in schools and colleges, banks, office, stock control and business firms, stock exchanges, research and development, entertainment and news, government office, satellite communication, publishing, travel, camel, hospital. So we have given n number of applications of computers. We have seen only few. Okay. So that's all about today's class. We'll continue in the next class, in the next session. Thank you.